Oh yeah. Alright. Hello! Hello out there in TV land. Welcome. First off, welcome to the first episode of what we hope to be a weekly thing, I would imagine. What we hope to be a weekly thing. In that it's our first episode of what we call Into the Nexus. Which is going to be a, hopefully, like I said, weekly podcast revolving around Blizzard's Heroes of the Storm. Granted, there are other Blizzard games that I'm sure we'll get into, that hopefully this podcast will soon roll into those as well, but this will be a primarily Heroes of the Storm driven podcast. So, for those of you that are here, thank you so much for being here. Excuse us for any weirdness that may happen, as it is the first episode, so we are kind of fumbling around with trying to get the overlays and stuff working, and making sure that you guys have the best time you can while we're here. And at any rate, welcome. Fakey, can you hear me? Maybe.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Oh, there he is. There he is. And Chaos, are you in here?
Yeah, what's going on, man?
Alright, dude. Let me close out that music. Cool. First off, let us know how the volumes are, everybody. Usually I am much louder than everybody else. That's like every day for me. That's just a typical day. I tend to be the loudest person on the block. So let me know how it all sounds. And what's up, Jaden, Fear, Rickety, and Froster? Good to see you guys. And per the usual, this is a very open discussion. So very open discussion. You guys can chat, and you can make fun of us, and you can say whatever you want about us. And you don't have to agree with us at all. Let me be very clear with you on that. Like, if we say something and you're like, that's bullshit, like, you can say it. Okay? Because when it comes to these type of games, it's very open to interpretation. So do not feel afraid to voice your opinion on something that we are saying.
Exactly.
So, first and foremost, my name's Anthony. For those of you that are new here, I don't know if anybody is new here, but my name's Anthony. The person on the camera you see below me is Fakey. His name's Fakey Not. It's his actual first and last name. Fakey Not. It's his real name. And then we have Chaos Slayer as the third person on our cast today. So, say hello, guys.
How's it
it
going,
going?
chat?
There you go. Perfect.
That's weird.
So for those of you that have like been here, you know them both. You guys know Fakey, and you guys know Chaos, and we just got word that Fakey will dance if we get our sub goal during this podcast.
I'll do an interpretive dance.
You'll do an interpretive dance. I might actually have to just make 5 or 4 accounts really quick and just get to that sub goal.
Oh, that's cheating though.
An interpretive dance. You're talking like where you like run around and like fairy leap and like throw your arms in the air.
I mean, I got like 10 feet of space, but I'll try.
Wow. All right. Well, we might have to make that work. We might have to figure that out, guys. We're 4 subs away. We're 4 subs away from our goal today. So, just saying, if one of you guys isn't subbed in here and you have an extra $5 that you feel like seeing if you can get Fakey to dance around, let's do it.
Oh, man.
But enough screwing around, guys. Here's what I want to do today. So I want to start with something that I think will be pretty contested in a tier list. So Fakey's volume is a bit low, they're saying. All right, let me see if I can turn him up. Let's try that. Let's see how that works. In a tier list. So what we're going to do here is pretty simple. So the way that Blizzard Heroes of the Storm characters are kind of ranked, we have to call them tiers. So these aren't official. Like, I don't want you guys to think these are official tiers. This isn't something that, like, Heroes of the Storm or Blizzard itself has ever said anything about. But, you know, certain heroes, I believe, and we as players of the game believe to be better than other heroes. And that's all this is. It's us throwing together a list of what we think to be the best ones. So I'm going to go first with mine, and then Fakey, you can throw yours down. Chaos, if you have one, let us know. Oh my god, Fearless just subscribed to the stream. There's one, baby!
Damn it.
There's one! Fearless, oh my god.
Why do I bet?
Why do you do that?
You need to stop.
The last bet you did was foolish too.
Yep.
So there he is. There's 2 out of 5. Okay, So, thank you so much, Fearless. I'm guessing Fearless is Fear. I'm guessing, right? I would imagine it's the same person, so that's awesome. Thank you so much for your continued support of the stream. You're amazing. So, here comes my tier list. I'm going to start with tier 5. That's the last tier. This is what I consider to be the worst characters in the game, okay? My tier 5 is Raynor. And that's it. He's the only one in tier 5. Even Gazlo isn't in tier 5. Even Sonya isn't in tier 5. Like, Raynor. It's Raynor tier. He has one tier, and it's Raynor. I don't know why anybody plays with him. I don't understand it. I'll never understand when anybody plays with him. He's garbage. Like, even the meta of the game says he's garbage. He's garbage. As Hackman put it so eloquently on Twitter earlier, Raynor is proof that good looks don't get you everywhere in life. Because he is a horrible Heroes of the Storm player. Horrible. He's horrible. Tier 4 for me. In fact, you know what I'll do? I'll just bring this down so you guys can kind of read. You guys can read it. Tier 4 for me is Abathur, Anubarak, Arthas, Tyrael, Nova, Azmodan, Sonya, and Gazlo. In that I have quite a few tanks. I have Nova in there, which I'm sure Chaos will he'll hate me for. It doesn't mean that I think Nova's a bad hero. I just think that she's incredibly limited, and she can't jungle. She can't really push lane. You can't expect her to defend anything. But she's really good. She's a lot like Zeratul in that as long as you are hidden, you're wonderful. But the minute that you get seen, you're squishy, worthless. So that's why I have her so low. Some people might be thinking, why do you have Arthas so low? I have Arthas that low, honestly, because I've never seen him played well. Every time we see an Arthas, we just focus Arthas and he dies. He seems, on paper, like he should be a lot stronger than he is, but he's not, for whatever reason. And then the other ones I think make sense. Azmodan, Sonya, people might argue about Sonya. I don't know. Gazlo, I don't think anybody's going to argue with Gazlo. He's Gazlo. He needs help. Tier 3, we have Falstad, Uther, Zagara, Sergeant Hammer, Thrall, Chen, and the Lost Vikings. The only ones that I could see people maybe moving around, maybe people might argue that Uther could be a tier 2, and I would have argued that post or pre-patch. I would have argued Uther tier 1 or 2 pre-patch. The fact that now after in death you can't attack, I think drops him down to tier 3. It changed the whole dynamic of the character. So until we figure out how to use him differently, he's going to drop down. Maybe even tier 4, honestly. I think you can move him down quite a bit. That nerf doesn't sound like a lot, but like that strategy with Uther to be able to go into a battle knowing you're going to die, but be able to attack still, was huge, and they took that away. I think it was a good thing they did it, but they still did it. So, let's see. Why Tyrell tier 4? For the kind of the same reason I think I put Arthas in there, because as strong as he is, he's never shown me that he does anything. You just see him on the map and you're like, kill him, and he's dead, right? And when I picture Tyrell in my head, I just picture him in ghost form, about to explode. Like I always picture him dead. I never picture him alive, so I put him down there. I don't disagree with you that Zagara can do so much damage, but the tiers aren't based on damage, so the tiers are going to be based on an all-around character. Sure, Zagara can do a lot of damage, but he's slow as hell, and he can kill him in a heartbeat. So, tier 2, I have the most of the characters I have are actually in tier 2. In that I have ETC, I have Rhaegar. This will be by far the most conflicted tier. I can't wait for the chat. You guys are going to be so pissed off. I have ETC in tier 2. I have Rhaegar in tier 2. I have Stitches, Vala, Tychus, Nazebo, Malfurion, Diablo, Muradin, Kerrigan, and Lili. So, I mean, out of those right there, like ETC, Rhaegar, Vala, Diablo, Kerrigan, Lili. I mean, those 6 right there, you could probably argue better than tier 2 if you really wanted to. But I didn't. That's where I put him. I don't think ETC, and this is where Fakey's going to argue. I can't wait to hear his list because then we're going to argue forever. ETC to me is a tier 2 character. He's fantastic, but I don't think he's very good at anything. I think he's really good at a lot of things, but I don't think he's very good at any one thing. So I put him at tier 2. Rhaegar, I have a horrible time with his mana consumption. I can never seem to figure it out. I'm always out of mana. So I put him at tier 2. Stitches, I think Stitches is a lot like Diablo in that doesn't do a lot of damage, is really good at crowd control, is really good at like getting the stronger enemies out of the way. And but other than that, like I don't think that you could ever roll a Stitches. Like a Stitches is never going to be MVP necessarily. So for that reason, I put him at tier 2. Vala Tychus I think makes sense. Tychus you might be able to argue tier 1 because he's pretty strong. Nazeebo, it takes a really skilled player to make him tier 1. I just don't think that. I think on paper here's a tier 2. In the hands of the right person, sure, tier 1. I could see that. And then the rest, And then Lili. Look, the more I play Lili, the more I realize that she's not tier 1. She's not a tier 1 support. She's fantastic, but again, like an ETC or even like a Falstad or like a Stitches, like sort of good at a lot of things, but not really good at everything. Not really good at one thing, sort of good at a lot of things. And I think that that's what kind of differentiates between tier 1 and tier 2 for me. Tier 1, I have Tassadar, Tyrande, Illidan, Sylvanas, Jaina, Brightwing, Murky, and Zeratul. And what I love about the tier 1 characters is that every one of them are very specific on something. So Tassadar is going to control the map, right? He is going to he's gonna fuck people up. Curse Jar. He's gonna do it though. Like that's what he's gonna do. And he has one skill. He has like one purpose on the battlefield, and that's just to disrupt everything that's going on. That stupid little like electric circle he throws on the ground. It's such a small thing, but it gets in the way so many times it drives you crazy. And then the fact that he can put a shield on your core is huge to me. That changes games. Tyrande is sort of obvious. Illidan, I mean, he is the most OP character in the game. I don't know how he's not nerfed by now. Now, what I have noticed with Illidan is that the higher rank you get, the easier he is killed. I think if your team understands how he dies, he could even be dropped down to, say, tier 3. But at the top of the list, like just on paper, Illidan is way too strong. So, Sylvanas you build Sylvanas correctly, she will break 500,000 siege damage. Like I've gotten to like 480, 490k. It's crazy. It's completely crazy. So Sylvanas, you use her as a push and you win. She's so tier 1. She's the best pusher in the game. You just have to know how to build her. Jaina's damage is insane. In fact, Fakey bought her yesterday because we were going to go ranked, and he's like, I'm just going to buy Jaina because her damage is insane. I mean, she outputs so much damage so quickly. It's absurd.
That's crazy.
Brightwing is the best healer in the game. Just being around a hero heals them, and it's impossible. His passive heals faster than Diablo can hit. So, like, if you're chasing Brightwing as Diablo, you're not going to kill him because his passive, even out of mana, his passive will heal quicker than you can attack. Zeratul is awesome. Again, in the hands of the right person, he's the best assassin in the game, which is why he's tier 1. I don't think there is a better assassin. You might be able to argue that Nova could be a better ranged assassin, but I mean, you find a Zeratul that knows what he's doing, and you're gonna die constantly. And then there's Murky, who I put in tier 1 because I think that Murky deserves his own tier. I think there should be God tier, which is Murky, and then tier 1, and then tier 2. Because Murky is this, like, beautiful psychological hero that, like, can't do anything except siege and annoy the hell out of everybody on the field. And if you can, like, play with people's minds, Murky's team wins. He has, like, a 70% win ratio right now after his nerf. Like, yeah. You don't lose with Murky as long as Murky knows what he's doing. It's just this beautiful arrangement of, like, popping in, throwing your fish, bubbling out, luring people around, putting your egg. And if you're really good, you put your egg in plain sight, and people freak out. They see the egg, and they're like, oh, and they go crazy. And then as soon as they do, you have like 3 of your guys come in and crush them. And then you just laugh. Like, it's so funny to me how much effort people put into killing Murky, considering he has a 5-second respawn, and his kill only counts for 25% experience. Like, leave him alone. He can't hurt you. But people do. They see Murky, and all they want to do is kill Murky. It's like the greatest thing in the world. They just want to kill Murky. And it doesn't matter. You should just leave him alone, but people don't, and I think that he is such a beautiful character, and in the hands of the right person, he's god tier. And I don't care what you guys say, he is god tier. So that's my list right there. Fakey, let's hear yours, buddy.
All right, I slightly disagree with a lot of what you said. For my tier 5, I'm going to do the same thing, tier 5 to tier 1. For my tier 5, I'm going Gazlo and Raynor. Gazlo, he doesn't do enough damage right now, and he's so easy to kill. Sure, he can throw down turrets and, little things that can be really annoying, but he's just not a good character. And I've played him a lot, and I've tried every single build known to man for Gazlo, but I just can't do anything with him. Raynor, his ultimates are dumb. I'm sorry to say, but they're dumb. His first ultimate that he can go and throw down, it's that little hovercraft thing it's like 2 little hovercrafts. I don't even know the names of these. I don't even play Raynor. He's just so terrible. You can kill him so fast, and it's not even worth it. And then his other one, it's so slow moving, you can literally walk out of it. And
is that the big red circle?
Yeah, the big red circle. All you gotta do is walk out.
You just go to the outside of it and walk around, and you're like, okay, that was stupid.
And it just ruins the team fight too. Your team's actually doing pretty good against the other team. All of a sudden, you throw your ultimate, everybody walks out of the circle. Now what?
That's true.
So
I never thought about that before. That's true. Yeah, because they leave.
Exactly. So that's my tier 5. Tier 4: Thrall, Abathur, Tyrell, Anubarak, Sonya, Azmodan.
Hey, do you really? I don't mean. Do you have this? Do you have a link to this?
I don't. Do you want me to go and try and get one?
Yeah, find your Google Doc and then link it in the chat. I'll open it up. That way we can all read them and see what they are.
Okay.
But no, I never thought. That's a good point about Raynor. I never thought about how it messes up your team too, unless you're pushing. But even then, everybody scatters. It'd be
definitely that ultimate I would say is definitely more used for siege. If you want to take down buildings, because it does good siege damage, it doesn't do good hero damage even. So, when I see Raynors use the hovercraft, or not the hovercraft, the whatever
those things are.
The big red circle.
Right.
People use it in team fights. I really don't think that's what you're supposed to use it for. I really think that you're supposed to use it for siege. But.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's kind of a weird combination because you see a lot of Raynor's, his kit is designed for team fights, but his ultimates are used for siege, or at least his big red circle thing. At least in my opinion, that's what I've found. It's more effective when you use it for siege damage.
I just don't. I don't know. There's just something about him that I don't like. I can't explain what it is. I really don't know what it is. But I don't know. When I see him on the battlefield, I just laugh.
Yeah, and I mean, you can go and say, oh, well, he can regen health, things like that, and he's really good at the end, but you really start to get your levels mid-game. He's not a mid-game player. If he's a late-game player and you're considering it him as a late-game player, and that he's so good late-game, what about the mid-game? You need to have someone that's decent in the beginning, that explodes during the mid-game, and then at the end, just, doesn't taper off. And he just isn't there. He isn't there until around level 20.
What? Bronze Scrub says, what if Raynor uses his big circle in a skirmish in the jungle where people can't run? I'll just kill him. That's the other thing, too, is that he'll drop it, and then you have 2 options, really. You can run away from it, or you can just run through it. Right? And just and yeah, I've seen it work. I've seen it where, we'll be team fighting, and they'll drop it, and it just screws everything up, and everybody dies, and it's the most annoying thing ever. But it's so rare that it just doesn't...
Yeah, and
it's really hard to find the perfect spot to put it in, to make it work.
And it's so slow. It's so slow. You just walk out of it. It's hilarious how bad that thing is.
Yeah.
I don't think his ult won't cancel if he dies. No. It keeps going, but
both of them don't cancel.
But the thing is he's gonna drop it here, right? And it's gonna go this way. And then you're just gonna run through it and kill him, and then you're not in the circle any longer, and B, he's now dead. So it's a weird. It's annoying. Is what it was. What it is. It's more annoying than it is anything. It doesn't do a lot of damage. It's just annoying. It's annoying. I hate it.
If they boost the damage on it, he would definitely be a little bit more effective.
Yeah.
All right. So what was your tier 4 again, really quick?
My tier 4, it was Thrall, Abathur, Tyrell, Anubarak, Sonya, and Azadan. I'm trying to get it on Google Docs right now.
Tier 4. You have Thrall, Abathur. Here, I'll just type them out. Just tell me them. I'll type them out. No big deal. We got it. We got this
Thrall,
on lock.
Abathur,
Huh?
Tyrell.
Yeah. Thrall, Abathur, Tyrell, Anub, Sonya, and Asmodon.
Yep, that's it.
Okay, so we have Abathur the same, Tyrell the same, Anub the same, Sonya the same, and Asmodon the same. So the only thing we have different, you have Thrall down here, and I don't have Thrall.
Thrall,
Okay.
I threw him down there just because he, compared to other assassins, he's not that good. Especially during the beginning and mid game. His lightning speed, for his E ability, it's pretty nice, but it's so single-minded. Just to go against one hero, it's not really worth it.
That's true. Yeah,
And
especially
he's
for a
not-
game that's all about team fights, right?
Yeah, and he's not able to go and single out players as easy as Zeratul, Illidan, the other assassins. It's not really worth playing them, in my opinion.
Fair enough.
So yeah,
Why do you have Thrall all the way down there?
mostly because I was thinking about all the other assassins and how good he is in team fights, and I just threw him down at tier 4 just because he's not worth playing, in my opinion. These are most of the heroes that I just think,
Wow.
I won't really touch them.
All right. Wow, I could not believe you put Thrall at tier 4.
Yeah, he's just not good, in my opinion. I don't like him.
I don't know. I feel like putting him at tier 3 for me. I felt people were gonna be mad. Tier 4, that's crazy. He's so strong. He does so much damage.
But just think about it. He has to go through the whole team to actually get to somebody, whereas Zeratul has his invisibility. He can go behind them without them even noticing. And Illidan, he can just jump over people because he doesn't have mana. Thrall has mana, so he has to literally go through the whole team, which means that he can go through slows. He has to go through
Make
the
a good
tank.
point.
He has to go through the healer. And just to get to a squish, just a squishy DPS. And most of the time, he won't even be able to out-chase him.
Hey, he's
Until
not
they can
wrong.
run away. So, yeah.
He's not wrong. Interesting. All right. Cool. Good call. Good call. All right. So, what about tier 3? What you got for tier 3?
tier 3, Lily, Brightwing, Lost Vikings, Arthas, Murky, and Nova.
All right. So on that one we have Lost Vikings the same. We have. That's it. We have one the same. We have Lost Vikings the same in that whole list right there.
Ooh.
Crazy. Okay, so why do you think that? Why do you think Lily why do you think Brightwing? Why do you think Brightwing? First off, why do you think Brightwing is tier 3?
Well, I know that he can teleport, and I know that he or she, they never even said what it is. But I know they can teleport. Once they teleport, you'll get, a heal from them, and it's a passive heal. But that's the problem. It's a passive heal. It's not a constant heal that you're going to be able to go and use all through the match, So you can't really depend on Brightwing for full heals. Lily, I threw her down there just because a lot of people are still trying to use her for health and for a healer. Even though she's really good at DPS right now, her ultimate for DPS is amazing. It can single out one player, and it does a lot of damage. It slows them. It's beautiful. But people don't know that. People aren't using her to her DPS abilities. So it's completely boring. It's not working, honestly.
All right, fair enough.
So yeah, Arthas. I don't like Arthas. Whenever I see an Arthas, it makes me cry a little bit.
You think he's stronger than tier 4 where I put him?
He is stronger than tier 4 just because he can slow, he can stun, and he's a great target for team fights. He can soak up a lot of damage, but I don't know. There's something about him where he doesn't control a team fight as much as you'd want a tank to do.
No, and I could not agree with you more. That's why that's why I have him so low. he's the last tank I think of, right?
Yeah.
I think of when somebody's like, "What's a good tank?" I'd never say Arthas, and maybe that's because I don't know how to play him very well. Maybe it's because I haven't seen him played well, but I have him there for the same reason.
That could be
you
the
do.
same for me, but I just don't see him as one of the best tanks. I do think he's better than Tyrell, just because he can throw out more damage than Tyrell. But other than that, nothing.
Fair enough. Okay, what you got for tier 2?
Tier 2, I got Diablo, Vala, Tychus, Nazebo, Uther, Falstad, Kerrigan, Malfurion, Zeratul, Sergeant Hammer, Chen, and Muradin.
Wow.
Big tier 2 list.
Yeah, no
Tier
joke.
2 list, it's
So on that one, we have Diablo the same, we have Vala the same, Stitches, Nazebo.
Stitches, no.
Oh no, sorry, Tychus I meant. Tychus,
Okay.
Nazebo. We have Kerrigan the same, Malfurion, and Muradin. Because I have Uther. I have Uther as 3. Okay, cool. Yeah, so that's it right there. Okay. Right on. Okay, so you have... Wow. Okay, yeah, so go through your list. Let's hear it. Why you got people there?
All right, so I'll just go get rid of the Diablo, Vala, Tychus. Nazebo, I have him there mostly because he's really good at controlling a fight, with a CC. But, I don't find him as much of a DPS outputter. His frogs are kind of slow, but he's really good at team fights. Uther, even though he got nerfed, his heals are still on point, and his death heal does a lot of work. Like I've played with him with you playing Diablo, and after me dying a couple times, I can almost put you to full health with his Q ability. Falstad, he got a buff, and he's doing a lot of damage now, almost like what he did a few months inside the closed beta. Let me see, who else do we not have?
So you said Falstad got a big buff?
Yep, he got a pretty big buff.
Yeah.
So he's doing pretty good now. Let's see. Kerrigan, she does a lot of damage, and she can jump into fights. She also can go and give herself a shield, which is phenomenal. She is a little squishy for they call her an assassin. She is pretty squishy for someone to jump in, but she outputs a lot of damage.
Yeah.
Malfurion, obviously the heals and the stuns. Can't complain. Zeratul, he is by far, in my opinion, one of the best assassins that can go stealth. You can always count on him to go and get the kills on people that are almost dead. So yeah, he's a great ganker as well. And I mean, you can see him a little bit inside his stealth ability, kind of like Nova. But if someone hasn't trained themselves to actually see the stealth ability, he's a great hero. Sergeant Hammer, she can destroy towers like nothing. Chen, obviously he doesn't use mana, which is great. He can stand on top of, let's just say, like Dragonshire map. He can go and capture a point and just stand there and chug his brew and start gaining up his shield ability. So when people try to attack him, he doesn't, get that much affected, and he can hold that point long enough for us to get Dragon, which is phenomenal. And his ultimate with the barrel roll, it can completely destroy the other team from attacking us. Let's say we're like 5v3 and we have a Chen, and it's only 2 squishies left. He can actually pull his ultimate, push all the other team back, and we're fine. And then Muradin, obviously, he has a lot of health. His trait gives him more health when he's not in battle. His ultimate, really, really nice to soak up damage and give damage at the same time. So, really nice tank. So yeah, that's about it.
Fair enough. And then what you got for tier 1?
Tier 1, Rhaegar,
Ugh.
Illidan, Sylvanas, Tassadar, ETC, Jaina, Tyrant, Sergeant Hammer, Stitches, and Zagara.
Sergeant Hammer. You have Stitches in there? Okay, and then Stitches and Zagara.
Oh crap! I have a double Sergeant Hammer. I meant to say Zagara Stitches. So
not Sergeant Hammer. You have Stitches and Zagara.
Yep.
You have Zagara at tier 1.
Yeah.
My God,
Well,
what are you
let me
doing?
explain that. She's really good early game. You can really depend her on early game, and she, just because of her abilities, she can actually make people run faster with one of her abilities. She outputs a lot of DPS, and basically whenever you have her Maw ability for her ultimate, can completely destroy a team fight for the enemy team. Like if she goes and actually grabs the tank or the healer, and only the squishies are at the end, oh my God, it's perfect. It's perfect. So yeah, she's tier 1, my opinion.
Ugh, my God. All right, fair enough. Hey, your opinion. That's fine. That's
Your
crazy.
opinion, yeah.
That's
So,
crazy.
yeah.
Okay, so you have what else is there? So Rhaegar, I understand. Rhaegar, everybody puts Rhaegar at tier 1. Everybody seems to think he's this god healer, and I don't understand why, because I've never. Look,
He can
here's the
fully
thing.
heal.
But here's the thing about Rhaegar. He does that full heal, and then it's over. Like every time we fight him, we're like, good. You're like focus. He full heals somebody, and you're like, okay, well he doesn't have the ultimate anymore, and then you just keep fighting. His ultimate, it doesn't do anything. It doesn't get people out of the way. It doesn't like CC anybody. It just full heals somebody. And when you have a 5-on-5, that say is now a 5-on-3. I don't care if you full heal somebody. We're still gonna get you 5-on-3.
Well, that's the thing. With a full comp, if he can actually go and full heal, let's say the tank, like let's say ETC jumps in and he doesn't hit anybody.
Or
and
Illidan.
they're all hitting, yeah, or Illidan. He can go and full heal them. They'll pull out enough DPS, and if something goes wrong, he can instantly go into his mount, his wolf, and leave. You know, he's really
Fair enough.
fast, you know?
All right.
Jump in and out of fights.
Okay. And you think ETC needs to be tier 1?
Oh yeah, ETC definitely needs to be tier 1 right now. Just because he has so much CC, he can basically soak up whatever team fight DPS is going on. His ultimate is crazy. He has his own heal that actually heals him really well.
Yeah.
He can go in and make all of his allies faster, just using one ability. He's so good.
Fair enough. Okay. I don't know. I just think he's very. I mean, yeah, he's got Mosh Pit, which is fantastic.
Yeah,
The Mosh Pit has.
definitely his defining ability.
It's his defining
Yeah.
ability, but it's got this
Yeah.
like weird 1 second, 2 second delay when you play with him. That just like if you. And here's the other thing too. It's his defining ability. It's all he has, and we know that. So you see an ETC, and everybody just is like, "Hey, just stay away from him. Like, just don't jump in on him." Because he's eventually gonna pull it. Because that's what they all do. They get all excited and they mosh pit and like I don't know. Just for me, I can understand it being tier 1 easily. But like when you have one ability that defines you, I just can't see it.
But that's the thing. He doesn't even just have one ability that defines you. He can also jump in with his other ability that allows him to go anywhere on the map. It's global. He can jump into. Let's say we're going for, totems. Let's go for tributes.
Oh
okay?
yeah, that's true. That's second ult.
So yeah, if everyone's fighting on a tribute
Stage
and he's
drop,
not there,
whatever it's called.
he can jump right on top of him, and that stuns him too. So it's perfect, and he can start soaking up right there. He's a pretty big body for what he is, and he can body block the crap out of anyone.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's great if you have a team that's stupid and like lets people single out. I mean, I don't know. Like I said, I have him at level 8 or 9 right now, I think, and it's just very like whatever. Like it's just very okay. Like moving on from that guy. All right, so otherwise pretty much the same. I mean, we have Jaina, Tyrann, Tassadar, Sylvanas, and Illidan. We all know why you want Stitches at tier 1.
He's my main man.
He's your man. Like you hook and eat and. It's beautiful. What's great about Stitches too is the ability to hook, grab, and then throw inside your own base is just too much.
It is
so
a
good.
game changer for sure.
It's a huge game changer.
He's just great at starting team fights.
I just can't believe you have Zagara at tier 1.
Zagara's
I keep looking at it. I keep thinking it's like I typed something wrong.
And you know what? If she wasn't tier 1, she'd definitely be tier 2. Definitely, no matter what, tier 2. But I call her tier 1 just because of how much damage output she can do beginning of the game.
Just don't get it. I just don't get Zagara. How about you, Chaos? Do you have anything set up?
I do have a incomplete tier list. So I don't have every hero. So
Game of
instead,
War
I was
Nova tier
thinking I
one.
could probably just talk about specific heroes.
Let's do it. Let's hear it. Let's hear what you guys say, man.
Like, for example, Gazlo, I did have, for my incomplete tier list, I did have a tier 5. Definitely
Yes!
needed some help. He, as Fakey was saying, he doesn't do enough damage. He's too squishy to actually, be a tank or anything like that.
Yeah.
So I do not have Raynor in tier 5. I believe he's a little bit better than tier 5. I would say, again, with his ultimates, I would say more for siege damage. Taking that fort that you need or something like that. I
Right.
had one of my buddies, he played Raynor, and he took the core single-handedly with his ultimate and one wave of creeps. So,
Really?
yeah. So that's why I think more so his ultimate's better used for siege. That's where my opinion for the siege damage is coming from. So I would definitely say he's not tier 5. I would say he's more tier 4. If and he does have a little bit of survivability. His Q allowing you to blast people away. That's
He has
nice
a passive
for-
heal too, right?
and the passive heal. So he may not do the most damage, but he has better survivability than most.
All right, fair enough.
Yeah. Abathur, I really dislike Abathur. I would still place him in tier 4 because despite my hatred for Abathur, I still think he's not the worst champion ever. He does do some good things for team fights. It's,
I don't know. I saw one person use him well the other day, and it was so annoying. Like every time I turned around, he had that stupid party hat on. It was just crushing everybody.
Yeah, and here's the thing too. They're actually starting to use him in EU comps for professional Heroes of the Storm. And I watch it, and I'm watching him on Sky Temple, and he's doing amazing, just pushing and pushing, and the other team can't defend it. And then once there's a team fight, he can actually get in there with his party hat, basically, and shield either the Illidan, because there's usually an Illidan whenever he's in the comp, or the Zeratul. So whenever you use an Abathur, you have to make sure that there's an assassin, or he's just not going to work.
Yeah.
So.
All right.
Okay. Also, I had for Brightwing, I had him in tier 3. The reason, I think one of you said it. The passive heal on Brightwing, it's good. It's a good sustained heal, but it's not. If somebody gets in trouble, you can't be like, "Oh, I can help you." That doesn't happen because there's no. I think there is a burst. There's a trait that you can get the burst heal, but it's not enough.
Yeah.
No,
The heal. Is
I
not
hate you guys
substantial.
so much for talking shit about Brightwing. Right
However, I was reading up on Illidan because Illidan obviously is just god tier right now. Brightwing is the #1 counter for Illidan, and here's why.
Yeah.
Brightwing polymorph, once Illidan jumps into your team, a lot of Illidans, they'll just jump into your team by themselves before the team fight even starts. Like that happens quite often. At least in quick matches, I see it happen all the time. Brightwing can polymorph, and then it's over from there for Illidan. Because Illidan can't do anything. He can't jump out. He can't, do damage. So suddenly you have, 4 or 5 guys pounding on him, and he can't do anything about that. So when you have an Illidan or, a dive assassin on the enemy team, I think Brightwing is tier 1.
Right. Completely agree.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I would place Brightwing in tier 3 because the heals just are not.
Dude, alone, like by the end game, Brightwing's basically a tank. Like the guy has like an insane amount of HP with his passive heals and all the CC he can do. I don't see how you can put him below tier 1 ever. I don't know. Maybe you haven't played against a really good Brightwing, but when you see like
I was with you in that game where you were Diablo chasing her down. So
it's just stupid. It's like this little stupid butterfly thing, just flies around all over the place, it kills everything, is constantly healing everything, is a tank so you can't kill it, and then as soon as you think you have it, it just teleports across the map and heals somebody else, and you're like, great. Like, there goes Brightwing. See you later. Like, again, Brightwing's gone, because that's all this little fucking thing does. It's just fly around, annoying the piss out of me. I can't stand Brightwing. No, I have to put it at tier 1. I have to. I've never seen a bad Brightwing. Every time you see a Brightwing on the team, you're like, well, here we go. Like, focus Brightwing. Especially a Brightwing Lily or a Brightwing Malfurion combo. If you see those two in a team, it's like, oh, good God, guys. Like, here we go. Like, like, we have to focus them in a team fight or we're not going to win. Like, it could literally be like, it could be Brightwing, Malfurion, or Brightwing and another support, whoever you want. I mean, you could throw any other support in there. And then the other three could be like Raynor, Gazlo, and Sonya. And you're like, we're probably going to lose. Because, like, if we don't kill these two, we'll never kill anybody because they're just constantly healing. No, anyway. Sorry to interrupt you. Moving on.
Oh, good.
My Brightwing rant. Ugh.
These things can get opinionated.
I hate Brightwing. I hate him.
Yeah.
Her. I mean.
Don't even know what it is. They never even said if it's a he or a her.
According to some guy in the chat earlier, they said it's a girl.
I believe so. It sounds like a.
It sounds like a girl, but
she sounds female. So.
Where is Brightwing?
You know.
Range support, a strategic support. Let's see. I'm trying to find if there's like a. If I go to the shop here, if maybe it'll say something about Brightwing, perhaps.
that's the thing. I've looked. Doesn't say anything. And even inside the YouTube video, when they introduced Brightwing, it doesn't say a single thing if it's a he or a she. It sounds like a she, but they still haven't said anything about it.
Yeah, no, it doesn't say anywhere here. So,
Yeah.
all right, moving on. Chaos, what's up?
Alright, no problem. I have some similar tier 2s. I do have Thrall at tier 2. I do like Thrall. His ultimate, the one that knocks everybody aside and stuns them. That is such a game-changing ult because it's a 1.5 second stun, and you guys were talking about how Thrall has to run through the enemy. You know, I will agree with that. But when he has his ultimate up, when everybody's stunned for 1.5 seconds, he can usually walk in and just kill your carry and walk out by the time you're not stunned, or you just get unstunned as he finishes getting the kill. So at least it's a 1-for-1 trade, even if you do get caught. But usually, when you ult, you have your full 5 team, your 5v5 team fights. That's why I think Thrall is actually really good, because a good Thrall will save his ultimate for a 5v5 team fight. They're stunned for 1.5 seconds. You can set up their split, you know, depending where you put your ultimate. One might be, you know, on one side of the chasm, and 4 will be on the other side. You know, you get a good catch on their assassin, you know, something like that. And you're looking at you kill their carry as soon as, you know, they become unstunned. It's now a 4v5. They don't even have any more damage. That's why I like Thrall.
Were you the one playing Thrall the other day and just crushing with him?
I did. I have played him. I think
Maybe
I have him up to level 7 right now.
Somebody played him the other day and had like 100k damage. It was insane.
He does good damage, but I understand what you mean because a lot of Thralls, I don't know, they get the impression that he's tanky. Maybe, I don't know.
They literally run into a full team, pop their E, think that they're going to be attacking as fast as possible, when really it's just 2 hits or 3 hits, and then they slow completely down, and then they just get squished.
Yeah. So that's where a lot of Thrall players go wrong. So
So could that be why he's tier 4, in my opinion? Yeah, it could be because people just don't know how to use him.
Yeah.
Just show me a good Thrall, and show me why he's actually going to be worth tier 2. I can change him, but until then, I'm not gonna say he's
definitely
even
in quick
tier 3
match
ability.
though. I can you know, there's people who are new to the game, you know, that kind of thing. They don't, you know, let's be honest, we all didn't know how to really play the game. You know, you could have some MOBA experience, you're still not gonna know how to play the heroes.
Right, fair enough.
So of course I have to talk about Nova.
Where do you have her? What tier?
I have her in tier 2. I do not put her in tier 1. I definitely think there are champions or heroes that are better than Nova, significantly. The reason I value Nova, the reset on her ultimate just makes her so ridiculously good.
Yeah.
When I got that triple kill that screwed over Fakey, and now he has to play Abathur to level 20.
I hate you. I hate you.
Yeah,
so
that
much.
did happen too. That was great.
Like, okay, you know, yeah, it sucks when somebody blocks your ultimate and you don't get the kill. It sucks, but at least it's still doing 500 damage per shot. It could be, you know, if they run behind if they run behind a fort, it still does 500 damage to the fort. You know.
Okay. Yeah.
So
that's true.
it does, you know, it does suck when you don't get the confirmed kill.
Yeah.
But, anyway, also, she just has so much burst. Like, I've killed a Raynor 100-0, no problem. And he didn't even have time to launch his passive because, like, you know, the passive heal, you know, it's like, they didn't even get to use it because it was dead. By the like, just walk up right beside him, boom.
Yeah, I mean, I could see her argued all the way up to tier 1 if you really wanted to. Sheer damage is just, it's insane.
And that's where you know, of course, she's squishy. You know, if you don't make a good play, you're toast. And suddenly you're looking at you know, if you miss the assassination for whatever reason, you know, maybe you miss your snipe, maybe you know, a creep happened to walk in front of your target, whatever. And also the 5v5 team fights, you have to kind of sit on the outskirts and wait for the perfect moment to start your combo, because as soon as you go in and you become uncloaked, they're gonna jump on you lightning fast.
Right.
Oh yeah.
So that's why I definitely would not put her tier 1, but tier 2 I think is acceptable to put her at.
Okay.
You know, I can understand why you guys put her at tier 3, but you know, being a veteran Nova player.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah.
Also
So,
talk about
who do you have? Let's just hear. Who do you have at tier 1? Like all your tier 1s.
Sylvanas, Jaina, Shen, Rhaegar,
Shen.
ETC, Vala, and Uther.
You have Vala. You have Uther in tier 1.
Yes. I did not experience Uther. I think I played one game pre-patch with Uther. So I did not get to experience him in pre-patch very much.
Pre-patch Uther
Pre-patches-
was god tier.
Yeah.
Uther.
Yes, but I still think he's a major game changer with his heals are as good as, you know, some of the other healers, because it's just when I have a Uther in my lane, I almost never die. And how many times I've gotten as a Nova, I've gotten kills because an Uther is stunned for me is ridiculous. That's why I think under a support category, like, you know, looking at the other supports in the game, you know, Tacitor is probably, you know, just as good as he is. But if you consider Tacitor a support, I don't really.
I consider him full damage. If you build Tacitor as a support, as a healer, then you're doing something wrong.
Yes. And that's where, you know, like, as a support character compared to other people in the support class, I would think he's better than everybody else. Support. In just by the sheer his abilities, and, like, you know, when he dies he can still heal you, like, you know, full health, whatever, you know. There's not too many other people that can do that and affect the same way.
And then
He does.
you have Ched at tier 1. Those are the two differences you had.
Shen, I love Shen. I played him. I think he's level 6 now. I'm not a tank player, but from what little tank games that I have played, I like Shen the most, because in a 5v5 team fight, you hop on that barrel and you just. How many it can be a disadvantage, because I have several times pushed away, you know, the enemy hero,
right.
You know, their carry, like a Vala or something,
Right.
But, like, I've also hand fed their Jaina to the team before while pushing the rest of their team away.
Yeah,
Fair
it's great for canceling stuff too. If somebody's Lily's popping her ult, or somebody's popping some bullshit, it's easy just to push them out of the way.
Ridiculous how good.
How easy is it to control when you're in barrel?
It's pretty easy.
You just click and it just goes like you were just walking?
It's, you know, it's not much difficult. It's not
Okay.
much more difficult than I can't remember. I don't think the barrel just turns at a 90-degree angle, but
Right. So, okay, really quickly, I want to go back. I don't know how I missed this. Did I hear Fakey say that Tassadar is a damage dealer?
Yeah.
Just you think you think you should build him as damage, huh?
Mm-hmm.
So what do you? Okay, let me grab Tassadar really quick. So I'm in the thing right now. I'm looking at his talents. I can't. Wow. I've never seen him built as a damage dealer. I always see him built as like a sustained CC guy. But
Honestly, he can do so much damage just unwillingly, especially with his Archeon ability for his ultimate.
Archon,
It's crazy.
transform into
Yep.
Archon, gaining 200 point shield. Basic attacks
Yep.
deal 64 damage and 32 damage splash. Lasts for 12 seconds.
Mm-hmm. And he can basically, since he gets a full shield from that, he can shield himself again, and then he can just start attacking with his basic attacks. He can throw down the shock on the ground and slow people, and it's crazy. He can do so much damage in so little of a time that it's crazy. People, once someone throws down an Archon with Tassadar, I run the other direction.
Interesting. So yeah, I mean, if you were to build him, let's say you were to come in, you were to do Scion Fusion.
Mm-hmm.
No, wait, you were to do. Yeah, that would probably work. Returns mana. So
Yeah.
now you're not running out of mana. At level 4, you could drop Leeching Plasma, where now when your shield's active, you're also gaining health from attack damage.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So now you're attacking and you're gaining health.
Yep.
Plus you're not losing mana. Then you could drop Static Charge, which
Mhm.
is going to make it so that you do even more damage. Then at
Mhm.
level 10 you do Archon, or Archon, however you want to pronounce it, which
However,
you're
yeah.
doing even more damage.
Mhm.
And now that you're doing damage, you're actually gaining more health because of the fact that you did Leeching Plasma. And then at level 13 you drop, say... I would say you'd probably maybe Distortion Beam to slow enemies down so they can't get away from you.
I don't really like the distortion
Or Spell
beam.
Shield.
I mean, I usually do the cell shield, just because with distortion beam, in my opinion, it slows down your attack as well, and it almost turns into like an Asmodon laser. So, I like to go and attack like his regular basic attack, just one shot, and then I can walk, and then one shot, walk, you know. But I do see people go with the slow ability, and it does work out. But I mean, that's just my opinion. I'm not a big fan of it, of the slow.
So people in the chat are saying you should take Healing Ward at level 4. Activate to place a ward on the ground that heals allies in an area for 2% of their max health.
Depends on
30%
who
of their max
you
health.
have in your comp. If you have another, like, if
That
you have a
seems
Rhaegar or
hit or
an
miss to
Uther
me.
or somebody, they can grab it. Obviously, it all depends on who you have in your comp. If you have another healer, obviously Tassadar go damage. If you don't have a healer, obviously you're gonna have to go and get a mix, and you'd probably want to grab the healing ward, and then just go full damage as well. But you know, it all depends on the comp. So.
All right, and then at level, let's see. Oh shoot. So then at level 16, you go with Second Strike. So your Sonic Storm again, which is going to be dropping more damage. And then at level 20, you pop Twilight Archon.
Mm-hmm.
So all right, yeah. I guess I've never seen him built that way before. I always see him built as support, as somebody who's just healing and sitting back and kind of being a pest. But I might have to try that.
Yeah, next time we play, I'll definitely pull out my Tassadar and I'll show you the build, and yeah, I'll even make one on Heroes Fire
There you go.
just for everyone to see. So I mean, yeah.
So, Chaos.
yeah.
Who is your favorite hero in the game?
Like as playstyle, it's Nova, but as like if I was to go into a ranked game and 100% wanted to win, I would probably pick. If we don't have a Sylvanas or an Illidan already, I would definitely pick Jaina.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Really?
Jaina, her Cone of Frost, I think at level 16 or 14.
I think it's 16.
Cone of Frost?
Yes, her Cone of Frost is it makes enemies vulnerable. So you cast it on the whole team, the whole enemy team. All of them are suddenly vulnerable. You're looking at incredible damage for your team. If you get something like if you get that Cone of Cold ultimate, you also lock them down. They're rooted. They can't move. You have great CC, like slow CC, so it's not a stun, but it's soft CC. So you're at least getting, you know, she's definitely a team fight changer in the sense that she dishes damage, she can kite, she has good survivability because of her kit, and like just the damage. You know, you throw down your E, Cone of Cold, make them vulnerable, throw down your W right on top of them, and you know. You can 100% to 0 them and no problem. Like no problem.
So are you talking about the skill Numbing Blast, where it roots chilled targets?
Let me see if I can.
At level 16.
The one on top of it.
Northern Exposure.
Northern Exposure, yeah.
Enemies damaged by Cone of Cold are also afflicted with vulnerable. Okay, there we go.
Yep.
Yes.
So increased damage by 25%. Wow. Okay, cool. Wow, I would have never. This is so surprising to me because both of you in the last 2 or 3 days have been talking about Jaina.
She's so good.
I played her a little while ago. I bought her. I want to say like almost last week, probably like Thursday or something. I played her to level 5. You know, didn't think much of her, and then I saw her played against us, and it was just like, dang, was I really, you know, that bad? Because like this Jaina was just tearing our team apart. So when I played, you know, so now I'm playing Jaina. I actually know how to play the game now.
Right,
you know,
which helps.
back then,
Yeah.
I didn't really, you know, you're when you're kind of new to the game, you're
right.
You don't always pick the best traits.
Of course.
So,
All right. So Jaina. Okay, so you would pick Jaina. If you want to do a ranked match and you had to pick your favorite character, you pick Jaina.
I pick Nova out of principle in the sense that I have the most experience with her, but I'm thinking I'll probably continue to level up Jaina and continue to get the feel for her, so I can, you know, actually, because again, going back, Nova's not tier 1. She's not the champion that you need in team fights. Jaina does it all. She does bursts, she does, you know, she has good survivability, and she has great team fight.
All right.
So
would you choose blonde Nova, brunette Nova, or redhead Nova? That's the next question.
I have to go blonde.
Oh wow! All right, cool.
For sure.
Fair enough. I'm all about the redhead. I'm all about that redhead Nova. That girl, that looks nice. What about you, Fakey? Who do you want?
I'll have to go brunette.
Okay, and then who is your favorite character?
Oh my god. Well, I'm gonna still have to go and stick with my ugly buddy Stitches.
You're going with Stitches.
I'm gonna.
So
have to go with
he's the guy
Stitches.
you pick if we had to go into ranked, you would pick Stitches.
No matter what, I would go and pick Stitches. If someone said choose a tank, I would pick Stitches, and I firmly stand that Stitches, even after the nerfs, is a great tank. His slam build, yeah, it got nerfed, but he still has enough sustainability, and he has his own heal. He can go and start and stop a team fight. He has his bile to go and slow down for his ulti. He has the Gorge if he wants to go a little more, little more aggressive. And he can even pull people, Gorge, and then go behind his walls. Usually this happens like beginning of the game, right when you get your level 10 ability. And he just does so much work. And if you know how to use that hook right, it's going to work out for you. It's going to be a great game.
Okay.
So.
All right. And then if I had to pick one, if I had to go into ranked and I didn't have a choice, they were like, you got to pick one for the rest of your life. I'd probably go with Sylvanas.
Thought so.
But
I figured.
but I think with a few more levels of Diablo, I might end up switching to Diablo.
Ooh.
There's just something I suppose here's kind of why I'm leaning towards Diablo. I don't see very many good Diablo players. I see a lot of Diablo players that they learn that they can throw people, and no matter which direction they're facing, they just start chucking people around.
Yeah.
And I think it takes a really good Diablo player to kind of understand who's behind him, who's in front of him, like whether or not you should be throwing or whether or not you should just let people sit there. And by playing Diablo and becoming good enough with him, I like to believe that I could be in control of that situation, right? So I suppose what I'm trying to say is I sort of want to start playing Diablo because I want to take him out of dumbass's hands and actually play him well. Because he's one of those heroes you see and you're like, yeah, we have a Diablo on our team, and then you watch him play and you're like, what the fuck is this Diablo doing?
Yeah.
Like, I don't remember.
I can't play Nova.
Yeah, I was just gonna mention that game. It was a few games ago we were playing and you were getting so pissed because every time you turned around they'd pull him out of your quick shot.
Yeah.
So I think a good Diablo understands that Nova is near and that like you don't the throw it's not that powerful. It's not gonna kill an enemy. So unless it's used to grab, like let's say a Stitches is coming in, or let's say I don't know, an Asmodon, or like let's say a Sylvanas is coming in hot or whatever. It's mainly used to like get them out of the way, like before they can do something horrible, before they can drop a crazy ult, before they can eat your biggest character. Grab them and just rip them out of the way. That's what Diablo's throw is for. Or if you're soloing a lane and somebody gets a little bit too far, they overextend a bit, you can grab them and then push them into your towers. But it's not just used to like grab and throw, and that's what people use it for. You can hear them spamming the E button, and it more often than not when you do that, it gets people out of position, and that's when you start to get in some trouble. So I think I might honestly, the more I play Diablo, the more I really enjoy. I have him almost level 7, so I'm not a pro with him by any means. But I really like him. But then with Sylvanas, I mean, look, here's the thing about Sylvanas, is she can solo lane like an absolute boss. I'm unsure that maybe Asmodon, maybe Gazlo might be able to do more siege damage in a match, maybe. But
No.
But it would be close.
Whenever we have a Sylvanas on our team, 90% of the time they have like 5 times more siege damage than I do as Nova, and they have about the same, if not more, hero damage.
Yeah, she tends to out hero damage Vala, which is actually pretty impressive.
Yep.
Pretty impressive too. The thing is about Sylvanas
too, not even an assassin. That's the crazy part.
See, that's So that's a perfect segue into the fact that she's gonna get nerfed. Like, there's no way in hell that she's gonna stay this strong. I think what they're gonna do is they're gonna kind of tweak her mana, because her Q right now doesn't use mana. So all you'd have to do is make her Q use mana, and it would stop people. My build would die, which is the one where you just decimate minions to gain your charges, because it wouldn't really matter at that point because you're running out of mana. So I think if they make that have mana, or they maybe make it like a 3 charge instead of a 5 charge. Then I think you'll see her drop down. I think she'll still be tier 1. With the proper nerf, she'll still be tier 1. But I think right now she's probably gonna get a nerf.
She basically has almost the perfect kit. Her passive allows her to do ridiculous things. Her only weakness is that she's squishy, and even though she's squishy, she still has an escape. Or a gap closer, depending on which way you want to look at it.
And it's a nice escape too, because it freaks people out. So because it's unlike Vala, who it's an invisible escape, like you can't see it.
Yeah.
With Sylvanas, if you drop your ghouls and they go away, people tend to like follow them, right? So like you can kind of you can use them for escape, or you can use them for distraction. It's also beautiful on like the map with the shrines, or not the shrines, with the you have to collect 3 of them. I'm drawing a blank on the name of the map right now. You have to collect 3, and then you're
temples.
Yeah, the cursed hollow, or whatever it's called, map.
Yeah.
When people are trying to grab, and when people are trying to collect it, her ghouls are great because it can rush in and hit 5 people. Or like Blackheart's Bay, if you have 5 people trying to turn in, very few heroes are going to be able to interrupt all 5 people. With her, you can do it from a distance, right? You can throw your ghouls in there. I mean, across the map. Across not the map, but like. From one screen to the next, you can throw these things. You can hit all 5 of them, disrupt all of them, and it's great. And then on top of that, you can have the thing where you replenish yourself after you do them. You interrupt, you teleport to it, you replenish your charges, and it's just she's very, very strong. She's very good. I don't know why she says she's easy. It says she's easy to play, which I don't necessarily agree with her as an easy difficulty. I think a really good Sylvanas player is a really good Sylvanas player. I think that maybe on paper she's easy, but I find Illidan easier to play than Sylvanas, and Illidan is considered a hard character. For
Since we're talking about nerfs and stuff, what would you guys do to Illidan to make him less powerful?
I make him use mana.
That's what I'd do.
Yeah, just I don't understand why he doesn't have mana. I don't get why he doesn't have mana at all. I don't.
Either that or increases cooldowns because they're too fast.
Well, yeah. So
without mana.
But yeah,
he's jumping around your team the entire time. You can't even get a lockdown on him unless you get a really good stun off.
Right, you have to stun him, and then on top of that, you can't get away from him. So like, if you're running away from Illidan, he still catches you, and that's just bullshit. Like if you're a Sylvanas and you're dropping your ghoul to escape, he'll still catch you, and he doesn't have a cooldown on it. He just catches you. So you're waiting for your cooldown while he's just jumping all over you like an asshole. It's the worst.
So I've been watching chat, and a lot of people have been wanting to talk about Nazeebo, it looks like. So, what are you guys' thoughts on Nazeebo?
I don't know much about him because I'm not good with him, so I stopped playing him real early. But I know he does major damage output, and with those that stupid zombie circle is like the worst thing if you're the enemy team.
The zombie wall. Yeah.
It's just, but the thing about the zombie wall, there are a lot of characters that can get out of it. Like Vala can get out of it, Sylvanas can get out of it, Illidan can jump out of it. Like a lot of these characters can get out of it. It's not that big of a deal, but
yeah.
I'll tell you what's beautiful. I played played one match last night off stream as Diablo, and I threw Stitches down. Like I grabbed him, threw Stitches down, and then Nazeebo popped that zombie wall, and then we just owned him. And the poor guy had like no clue what was happening. Like he's running away. All of a sudden, I dash, hit him, throw him. He's in a wall of zombies, and he's dead. And it was beautiful. And then his ultimate. Nazeebo's ultimate is just like, I think it's Gargantuan? Yeah, it's Gargantuan. It's so crazy. It's constantly in your face, and it's awesome, but I'm not good with him, so my thoughts on Nazeebo are, more power to you if you can figure him out, but I don't touch him. I'm terrible with him, so I don't do it.
Great players with Nazeebo, from what I've been seeing, they can stop the enemy team from, attacking us real easy with their zombie wall, or even stop them from going into mines. I've seen a Nazeebo start to go into mines, pop their zombie wall, go into the mines, the zombie wall comes up, and the enemy team can't go into the mines until the zombie wall is down. So that gives
that's
the
a
whole
good call.
team.
I like that one.
So it gives the whole team extra time to actually grab skulls. So it's amazing. Nazeebo also does a lot of siege damage. Every time I go and see a Nazeebo go against walls and things like that, he can control the damage output to him, and yeah, he's just an all-around pretty decent character. Has he been put out a little bit because of Sylvanas? Maybe, but I still see a lot of Nazeebo players, so he's still very viable, in my opinion. So yeah.
What do you think, Chaos?
I'm not a fan of him. However, for my tier list, I put him at tier 2. I don't think he's amazing, but he's definitely really good. Like, he's in a really good spot right now. He doesn't do everything. He doesn't do, I've seen, the thing is, like, I play Nova. Per match, I usually get about 45k hero damage. I've consistently seen one of my friends who's played Nazeebo. He was consistently getting 60k hero damage every game.
Yeah, I see him with pretty good. Usually when I play Sylvanas, if there's a good Nazeebo, we like fight for who has the most damage.
Yep.
So I would not say he's, amazing, but I would definitely. I haven't played him too much myself, so I can't say, amazing things about him. But he's definitely in a really good spot right now. Good Nazeebo players are a wonder to have on your team. If you can have if you have a good Nazeebo on your team, you're going yes.
Nazeebo's crazy. I saw Nerf Burrito talk earlier about how he wants to play Nazeebo against my Sylvanas and see which one does better. But Nazeebo will win that. He'll win that because I won't be able to get close enough. I know that I know. Okay, this sounds so weird because I know Nazeebo's or Sylvanas is ranged, so to say like she won't get close enough, but like he keeps people at such a distance that like I won't be able to get my charges off on you, and like I won't be able to do anything to really get to you. It's just I think Nazeebo might be one of the few heroes that I just don't, as Sylvanas, I just don't want to mess with. Like every time I try to get near you, you're gonna end up throwing some bullshit frog at me or trapping me in something, and it's just I'm gonna get annoyed. It's weird with Sylvanas how like kind of like I don't know if the DPS are right, but like the CC players with Sylvanas are super annoying.
Yeah.
Like so I wouldn't even one-on-one with the Zebo. I mean I don't know. I bet it would be pretty close, maybe a 50-50 type thing. Like out of 5, you might win 3. But I don't know. It's just. Can you do that? Is there a way to do that in this game? Can you like set up 1v1s?
You can set up 1v1s.
Custom
You're
games.
basically gonna have to go into custom games, yeah.
And just 1v1.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure there's no experience gain, so
Nope.
But it would still be a crazy cool experiment
it
to
would
do.
still be fun.
Just to spend a day like 1v1ing different heroes, just to see like which ones come out on
Who
top.
would
and-
win, yeah.
Or
I
even
mean-
1v1 tournaments, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Honestly, just talking about Sylvanas and her Q ability, I'm starting to think, would they really nerf her just because it hits the closest thing to her? Now, I know that people are saying, like, oh, it needs to cost mana and things like that. But since it hits the closest thing, you can stand next to a wall and it'll attack the wall instead of a player.
Well,
You know what I mean?
it
Focuses heroes.
It prioritizes heroes.
Really?
Yeah, it does. Yeah, I didn't think it did either, but like if you really pay attention, it will. It'll prioritize heroes.
So they probably
And-
just nerfed that then.
They can nerf that. I don't. In my honest opinion, I don't think she needs one.
Yeah.
She's so squishy, and like the higher
Yes.
up in ranks you bring her, the faster she dies. Like people just see her and they wreck her. On top of that, her escape, like I was mentioning Vala's escape earlier. With Vala's escape, you can just pop it and you're gone. People don't know what's happening. The problem with Sylvanas' escape is people see it and then they'll CC you, and you can't,
Yep.
and then you can't use it. So as soon as they see those ghosts pop out, and it's probably like I don't know, it's probably a 2 or 3 second ghoul, like, but because you want to get it when it's frozen. I'd say it takes 3 seconds to get to the end of its range. I mean, a ton of heroes can CC you, and even I do that now with the Sylvanas. I see it, I just drop a stun, and she can't use her, and now she can't go anywhere. A, she can't replenish her charges because I know that's the build they're using, and B,
Yep.
she can't get away. So I don't know if
Most
she
of the
needs one.
stuns- Most of the stuns are longer than how long it is for your ghouls too, so
Right?
any
Exactly.
stun in particular can just go in and stop you from using it.
Yep.
So-
Exactly. So, people wrecking her doesn't mean she doesn't need nerf. They wrecked her because she needs nerf. Well, if she needed nerf, though, I suppose she wouldn't be getting as wrecked. Like, if you can kill an enemy as easy as you can kill her, I don't think they need to be nerfed. Weapon Marks Xbox. We know you're not a sub. You don't need to keep saying literally you're all subs except me. We can see that, dude. We got it. It's cool, man. We get it. So,
I'm sure
Yeah,
there's
fan.
plenty of lurkers who are not subs.
yeah. So there's Nazeebo. Nazeebo in a nutshell. I want to go over the patch notes, and then I want to call it the first episode. So let's go over patch notes really quick. We won't go through every character by any means, but you mentioned Falstad earlier. Had a big nerf, right? So
Buff.
a big buff, I mean. So his damage went
Yeah.
from 34 to 38, but it's plus 10 per level, which that's not too much.
Pretty good.
But 2-second cooldown on barrel roll. So I saw Ashley mention this earlier. That she said Falstad's power is his speed.
Yep.
And his barrel roll increased by 50% speed, which is
Yep.
a ton.
That's really that's a lot.
Not
Yeah,
to mention his
exactly.
Mighty Gust, which is his R, went from 100 to 70 mana. And 30 mana is a lot in this game.
Yep.
I mean, wow. So like in 3, you can almost use it 4 times in the same time you can use it 3 times before.
They
so-
almost buffed him enough to what he was pre-closed beta, because in the alpha he was so good. From what I heard, I wasn't in the alpha. I got closed beta right after the alpha ended, but from what I heard, Falstad was definitely tier 1 material. Then they nerfed him, and nobody played him anymore because he was almost a dead character. And then people started playing him again just because he's on his mount all the time, which is amazing. so you don't even have to worry about
And he
mounting
can
yourself.
travel.
He can cross through any part of the world and just jump on. Let's say tribute is up and everyone's dead except for him. He can jump right on top of it. He's a great character now, and to see that they went and buffed him up, and to see a lot more people wanting to play him, it's great. I love it.
Oh, let's see here. Who else do I want to talk about? Asmodee got nothing. It's just he does a little bit more damage for his Q ability. Abathur again, like.
Oh man.
I mean, he got a ton of stuff done to him. Damage increased from 30 to 50%.
Yep.
Cooldown of Toxic Nest was reduced by 2 seconds. I mean, there's like the monstrosity persists until it's killed, which is awesome. I mean, a lot of stuff. He got a lot of stuff done. He's still Abathur. He's still Abathur. No, I should rank him to 20 while you rank. No, wait, you're supposed to be doing Abathur, aren't you?
Yeah.
That's right.
I'm almost at 10k coins. Once I get him, I'm not paying $10 for him.
No, I wouldn't either.
So.
Diablo is the same deal. Fine enough. Although I will say that the lightning breath, being able to cast it in the direction of the cursor instead of the direction he's facing, is huge.
That's really big.
And you'll notice people. It's funny because
the move is definitely.
Yeah, it's massive. You notice people now when you breathe fire, they'll go behind you, but now you can move it. You can move it around. So like and you can tell they're used to him not being able to do that, which I think is great. Who else got a big one? Jaina got a ton.
Yes.
She got a huge buff. New talent, Arcane Power. So you increase spell damage by 15%, and you restore 400 mana for 5 seconds. So I mean, a 15% increase on spell damage to Jaina is a lot. That's a lot. It's a lot. So if you guys are looking to play Jaina, now's the time to do it.
Yep.
Kerrigan's pretty much the same. Lily somehow didn't get anything done to her. Like you don't heal clones or decoys. So which is pretty cool.
Yep.
Which is pretty cool. I would have expected a little bit of a mana buff to Lily, just because you do run out of mana pretty dang quick. I'd also, one thing I wish they would do with Lily, I wish you could actually direct your heals. I wish you, instead of just like healing the closest person, I wish you could actually like click who you want to heal. But
True.
It is what it is. That's her character. That's what it is. So, I want to save Murky for last.
Mm-hmm.
Nazebo. We just got in talking about Nazebo. He actually he didn't get really either, but a lot of things changed. So his Gargantuan is huge now.
Yep.
His Gargantuan damage increased from 35. Okay? It increased from 35 and 15 per level. Get ready for this number. Okay? Get ready for this number. It used to be 35 damage plus 15 per level. It increased to 100 damage plus 20 per level.
That's
so
ridiculous.
That's crazy.
It almost got a 300% increase on damage. Like,
yeah.
And let's think about this for a second. If you're going plus 20 per level, at level 20, you're now doing 400. You're now doing 500 rather than, like, whatever 20 times 15 is. Whatever the hell that number is. But it's just, like, it's just crazy how much buff he got. Like, it's an extra 100. It's an extra 100 at level 20 plus an extra 65. Like, it's insane how much that got. But at the same time, the health went down. So his health went down from 1,400 to 600. Which is a lot.
But they did also increase the level.
The per level. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's almost like he didn't really get a nerf.
Yeah, because it's an extra 70 per level, so at level 20 it's an extra 140. I mean, it's still a lot. Not 140. Anyway, it's still a lot. But it's crazy how much damage that puts out. And let's be honest, when it comes to an ult, you don't really care how long it lasts. You just want it to do damage as quick as possible. Right? You pop your ult in there and you're doing that much damage. You might die quick, but you're going to kill some things along the way. So, let's see. And then Gargantuan no longer uses Stomp automatically. Instead, you can use it by pressing R, which is massive.
Yep.
Which is absolutely massive. Everybody else, Whirlwind is stupid. Stitches got... You want to talk about Stitches, Fakey? You know Stitches.
Yeah, like I was saying, they wouldn't basically destroyed his slam abilities. So, radius decreased by approximately 25% on his Vile Gas. Usually in all the slam builds, people would try and increase the Vile Gas because it could take off almost a quarter of someone's health. All he needed to do was pull, use his slam. It can create a vial gas around them, and they're almost dead already. People just got to jump on them and they'll be dead. So I can see why they did that. Damage scaling decreased from 2 per level to 1.5 per level. Again, they're trying to destroy his damage. Talent, I already talked about it. It increased the radius 25% to 50%, which is pretty decent, but when it's not doing as much damage, what's the point, really? The slam ability, it doesn't stun, so that kind of sucks. It would actually stun them for about a full second, usually, but now it doesn't even stun. Reduces cooldown of slam by 2 seconds, which is nice, but basically the whole thing with slam was you would pull them in, slam, they would get biled, they would get stunned, so they have to stay there, and hopefully you'd have like a Jaina on your team or someone with a slow ability to slow them, and it would be done. They would be dead. But now you have to pull them, sort of body block them, and you have to sort of use another hero like an Uther to go and stun them manually. So it like I said, it destroyed the slam build, but he's still a tank in my opinion. And even though his health was reduced from 1060 plus 260 per level to 1060 plus 230 per level, that's not a big deal. He can still tank. He can still soak up. He can still heal himself. So, yeah, that's basically it.
All right. Oh my God. Have you seen the list for Uther?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It just keeps going.
Yep.
It's constant. They really wanted to destroy the double healer meta, but I think they went and they stayed on Uther for a little too long because the healer meta is still there. If you have 2 healers, it's going to be so hard to kill somebody.
And they got rid of Burning Rage, which was a really big talent. People really liked Burning Rage.
Yep.
So Burning Rage was the one, correct me if I'm wrong, but that just did damage when you were around people, right?
Yeah.
I think so.
Yeah, that was a really good one. So, well, they have Holy Fire, which deals 8 damage per second to nearby enemies, which is great. But let's see what happened here. So they got mana restored per hit, increased from 5 to 8. That's a good thing. Look, at the end of the day, I could read through these and tell you guys exactly what to do, but the thing that they did to Uther was they got rid of the ability to hit after death. Like, you used to be able to, I don't remember what level it was. There was a certain level where you could get a trait that let you have your full ability. I think it was like level 7. It was pretty early in the game.
I think it was 7.
Where when you died, you could do everything you could do alive in death. And it went for a while, probably 10 seconds or so. And it just was great. Like, it just, and I used to play Uther a lot, and what was great is I'd be in a battle with people, and it'd be 5-on-5, and it would end up being 5-on-5, then 5-on-4, then 4-on-4, then all of a sudden it would go crazy, and it'd be like 4-on-2, and we'd be the 2, but their 4 would be almost dead, and what I would do is just be like, I'm going to die on purpose. Like, I'm going to jump in, and I'm going to kill myself on purpose, and then use my abilities to kill everybody else, and I would, and I'd go in there, and I would die, and while I was dead, I would take 2 or 3 out.
Yeah.
And they got rid of that. So I mean, I haven't even touched Uther since the update. It changed too much, and I don't really want to learn him again. It took me a while to learn him the first time, so I just haven't looked at him.
The one thing that I like about Uther right now is once you reach level 20, and if you reach level 20, he has an ability where he can actually come back from being a ghost. So basically, once you die, you can go into like a patch of grass, and when people aren't paying attention, come back. You have about 75% health, I think, something like that. And then all of a sudden,
really?
You're just there. You're there. You can start healing again. You can have all your stuns back. It's crazy. It's crazy. And that's why I still think he's still tier 2.
Wait,
one before.
What is this one? That's an ult?
That's his level 20 ability. It's a trait.
It's a trait.
Yep. So if you go back into Here's the Storm, go to his level 20 ability, you'll see it right
after
there.
Eternal Devotion ends,
Yep.
Uther will resurrect at the location of his spirit with 50% health.
50%, yeah. So it's really nice. Yeah, and that's why I still think he's tier 2, honestly. Even though he was tier 1 before.
I didn't know about that one. I'm going to try it out. So if you die, like let's say you were to die, I could go back and like Diablo could body block somebody, and then meanwhile I hide for a while and then come back.
Yep. So basically you're full healing with your Q ability, and all of a sudden you're back and you can start stunning again.
But it's 50% health.
50% health, yeah. But I mean, you can still heal yourself and then throw your W out. You'll get healed from that as well. It still does damage. So.
Okay. All right, and then okay. So Tyrande got changed a lot in the better. Tyrande is much better than she was. She's actually
Yes.
amazing. She's an amazing character now. They removed a lot of stupid talents and added a lot of really good ones.
Yeah.
If you haven't played Tyrande, I highly recommend it. She is considered a support assassin, like a ranged assassin or a ranged support.
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 And it's great. The owl is such a crazy skill. If you're good and you understand how the maps are laid out, the owl goes across map, and it's great for like, let's say, I don't know, let's say something pops up on the map and you guys need to get there and you can't quite get there in time. You can just pop the owl over there and it'll give you enough time because it'll frustrate and CC enough people that you can get there. And it's just a great. If you haven't played Tyrande, I highly recommend it. She's not played enough, and I think with this update we're gonna see her a lot more. A support that doesn't heal. I think that she can heal now.
She does heal.
Yeah, she
Yeah,
can
a little
heal.
bit.
She can
She
heal
also grabbed totem.
herself. She can heal herself, and she can heal one ally as well as herself.
Yeah, ally healing increased from 90 to 120, and it's plus 28 per level. So by the end, at level 20, you're going to be healing for 500-ish, which is a lot.
And then her D ability, she can actually go and make people vulnerable at level 1. So it's a crazy vulnerability as well. It's almost like what Sylvanas gets at level 16 with her dagger. So that's crazy.
Yeah.
And then last but certainly not least, the god himself, Murky.
Oh boy.
He got a new skill that is so good. It's so good to me. I have to talk about it. It's called Living the Dream, and it grants 10% ability power and then 1% for every 5 seconds that you're alive, up to 25%. So I mean, if you can just stay alive with him, right? Like if you can just stay alive with him for a while, I mean, you're looking at an extra 25, you're looking at 35% extra ability power, which is a lot for Murky,
Yes.
considering his egg does a ton of damage. I mean, you can get eggs hitting for like 15 or 1600 now.
Yeah.
Well, not eggs, sorry, pufferfish.
Overfish,
Yeah.
Hitting for like 15 or 1600 now, and it's crazy. It's crazy. And the great thing about him, about this whole Living the Dream, is you don't have... It rewards good Murky players. So you no longer have people playing Murky in QM or ranked matches that just come in and just die because they think it's hilarious, because they know that if I stay alive, I'll be a god. I'll be a Murky god. And it's the perfect skill. I don't know like who thought of it. I want to shake the hand. I want to shake the hand of the person who thought of this skill. But they did. They watched and they must have realized that people just think it's fun to die with him. And let's make it so that the people that don't die with him actually get rewarded. And I love it.
It's really
Also,
good.
the other thing, and this is the other skill. This skill and the skill I'm talking about right now, these are what make Murky actually viable. The casting time for pufferfish was reduced by 75%. So,
Yep.
if you didn't play Murky pre-patch, you would throw pufferfish and it would always get killed. It's just like, if there was an enemy hero or even minions would kill it because it took so long before it went off. Now it's quick. And it just, you throw it in there and it dies. So,
Yeah.
but that skill is one of the reasons why people want to kill Murky so bad, which makes him that much better as bait. Exactly, Rickety. Yeah, so people see him and they know he needs to die. And I tell you what, if you're thinking about playing Murky, you try to get on like a TeamSpeak or something with a buddy that can do a lot of damage, and just lure people. That's all. Like all you need to do is you just need to lure people. I need to update that build, by the way.
Yeah,
So.
I just threw it up there, yeah.
Just lure people. Just go in there, be an idiot, pop your bubble, leave. They'll chase you because for whatever reason people want Murky to die. And then all of a sudden somebody will pop out of a bush and kill him. And it's just the funniest thing in the world. Then you and Murky can laugh together because that's all Murky wants to do is have fun. Like, he's just the cutest little thing in the world. Speaking of cutest little thing in the world, the last thing before we go, is this skin up yet? Is this... Yeah, it is!
The Easter Bunny?
The
Yeah.
Easter Bunny! Oh my god, it
is.
is the cutest thing. I want to eat it up. Let's actually look at the skin in the marketplace. There it is. Look!
It is beautiful.
Look at this cute little bunny rabbit. I cannot believe... I love the fact that they did this.
It's a really good idea.
It's
Really
it's
good.
a great skin.
There's even an egg in the back with a beard and a mustache. This is just. I mean, it is. It is the greatest. It's the greatest skin that they've ever done. There isn't the only one that might rival the skin is the Muradin, like Candy Muradin.
Oh yeah.
Or whatever he's called, is a fantastic one. But yeah, do you guys have anything you want to say? Any closing statements you feel like making, or anything in general?
Honestly, if people are in here that haven't played Heroes of the Storm yet, which could be a few people that are lurking, don't go into it thinking that it's like League of Legends or Dota. This MOBA is completely different than any other MOBA that I've ever seen. It's a lot more team-based, and there's a lot more team fights. You don't have to worry about last hits. You don't have to worry about things like that. All around, it's a very fun game. So definitely start playing it. Try it out. I know that Anthony's doing some beta keys for subs. So
Yep. And
sub it up.
Yep. If you subscribe to the stream, you get a code, and we'll play with you. I mean, we're trying to. Honestly, the goal of the stream, and I've been in talks with Blizzard and trying to figure things out. But honestly, what we're just trying to do is we're just trying to let people know about the game.
Yes.
Like, LoL has done such an amazing job of just completely fucking everybody's perception of MOBAs that it's a lot of work. It's a lot of work to get that perception to change, and that's what we're trying to do. So if you want to play the game, let us know. We'll get you a code somewhere or another. But like Figgy said, it's way different. Like it's way different. It's actually fun.
cool.
And
As a League player since 2012, I've been playing League extensively. I think I have like 1,600 hours or something like that in League.
You had something like that, yeah.
I'm gold 4, so you know that I'm experienced in this game. If you're a League of Legends player, definitely give the game a try. I've been enjoying it. I played it. You know, if you're at that point of I'm sick of League of Legends but don't know what else to play, definitely look at Heroes of the Storm, because Heroes of the Storm, it's a little bit more simplistic, but it's a lot more fun.
It is.
It's more just enjoyable, and the community in general is a lot better. Instead of getting 2 assholes every game, you get two assholes every 10 games. So
right.
I mean, Blizzard is trying to go and get rid of the toxic players, and I know that they're going to do something like what CSGO is doing with the karma points, where toxic players will get other toxic players to play with, and good players will get good players to be with, things like that. I don't know when that's going to be implicated, but they were saying that they're going to try and do it. So they're definitely hunting down the toxic players because they don't want this to be like every other MOBA.
Good. And then last but not least, I think they're doing big head mode still.
Yep.
So every now and then you'll see. Oh, maybe they're not doing it anymore. I think it might be turned off.
I think you got to play as the character, because this is what happened with us. Because you have to play
okay.
as one character or see the character in game to actually turn on big head mode for him.
just
Okay,
throw
cool.
it in a custom game, Anthony. See if that
Yeah.
works.
Will that work? You think?
It might.
Let's
I
try.
think
Let's
it-
see if we can get this. I don't know. What's a good? I know like ETC's big head.
Diablos. Do Diablo.
Diablo has one also.
Diablo has a very good one.
Hopefully
Start
it's still going on.
game. Diablo. Does he need a certain skin?
Nope.
All right, let's
Just
see if we can
anything.
get in here. Not from what I've seen. Not from what I've seen. I've had a lot of dicks so far. Nikolai, I don't know. I
They're
haven't.
trying to do it. They're going to start it, but they haven't started it yet.
What
So
are they
you
gonna start doing again?
They're gonna start doing something like karma points. So if you played CS:GO, you know that people
Right,
can
right,
go and
right.
say, "Oh, this one's a good player. This one's a bad player." And if you have too many downvotes, you're gonna start getting other toxic players on your team.
Perfect.
So
Make sure you hit that start game button. Man.
Oh yeah. So do you think maybe perhaps, and I mean I could be totally off base on this, Nick, but do you think that maybe you're just perceiving people trying to be helpful as dicks? Like, are you what's a dick player to you? Is somebody being like, hey, bro, like stop doing that and come help us? Like would you call me a dick if I was like we're pushing core and you're picking daisies, back at on top lane, like you're playing ETC, why aren't you down here helping? Or you're playing Lily, why are you trying to pick a Giants camp? Like,
Yeah.
Because I've gotten called a dick in game before because I'm like, bruh, like stop doing that and just come down here with us. I'm not. Oh yeah, there's the big head. They totally do have it.
Oh yeah. And I don't know what's going on, but I think because you don't get all the big heads at once, I think there might be something in the end where if you get all the big heads for every character, you get a prize or something like that. I don't know.
Really?
That's all speculation. That's all speculation, but it's just weird how they're doing the big head thing, in my opinion. So I'm definitely going to try and find every single big head character.
Well, yeah, and I know some of them are certain skins. So, like, if you were to get ETC, I don't think his regular skin is a big head. I think his glam metal one is only the big head.
Both of them are actually, because I think it was Brutal. Me and Chaos were playing with Brutal Green yesterday, and he chose ETC, and it had a big head.
Yep.
Without the skin on.
All right. Well, yeah, that's it. So, again, I appreciate everybody being here. It was fun. I've had people just tell me I'm garbage and I'm the reason we lost. Well, maybe you are. I mean, like, I'm not trying to be a dick, but, like, people telling you that you're not good at the game and that you lost because of you, it might not be them just being rude. It might just be them being, like, telling you, like, you need to learn how to play the game. I don't know.
It's really hard to show emotion over a computer.
Yeah, there's ways to do it, obviously, and, like, you know, calling you a little cunt fucker probably isn't the best way to do it, and that's what people do all the time. So, I don't know, like, the means which you did it, but if you know, like, let's put it this way, and I'm not saying you're like this at all, but if every game you play, you lose, it might be you, right? Like, I played 3 or 4 games the other day with somebody, and we just kept losing. And then I got out of the game with them, and then we kept winning. And that guy got super pissed off at me. In fact, this was a little while ago, unsubbed to the stream, because he thought I was being a dick to him, and I was like, dude, we're losing because of you. And it wasn't me being a dick. It wasn't me. It was you. You were the reason we were losing. So sorry that I told you that, but that's what. So, anyway, all I'm saying is that sometimes it's not everybody else. Sometimes it is you. So instead of perceiving it as rude, just take it as constructive criticism and get better at the game and move on. Right?
Don't hang your head.
Everybody
low,
has
you know.
bad days.
Right.
Yeah,
Exactly.
So, you know, you could be the best player in the world and still play like, you know, the worst player in the world some days. It'll happen. So sometimes you just need to take a break and realize that you're not playing to the best of your ability, or you need to realize, you know, when I used to play League, I used to be really freaking bad at the game. I would always blame my teammates, you know, but the thing is, you have to realize, don't get mad at your teammates because they're feeling the same that you are. Just, you know, you have to focus on yourself first, then you can worry about everybody else.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. I think that's pretty good episode 1. Apparently we need to change the name of the podcast again because Into the Nexus is apparently taken. So, whatever. Hotscast is gone. Into the Nexus is gone. Nexus News it's not available either.
The true heroes of the storm.
The true heroes of the storm. So let's do this. Do me a favor. Let me know on Twitter, AnthonyACC, what you think the podcast name should be. I'll keep it open to suggestions. I'll keep thinking. You two keep thinking. And hopefully we'll come up with something that hasn't been taken. We should just call it like Murky the God podcast. Murky the Godcast.
Speaking of which, I forgot to tell you, as an April Fool's joke, every single ESL game, there was either one Murky in it or they wouldn't ban Abathur. It was so funny.
Oh, they should ban Abathur all the time.
It was so funny. But I think they were actually liking Murky. Like, they were actually playing Murky like they've been practicing them. So I feel like Murky actually might get into comp games more often now.
Good. I'm telling you right now, he is an amazing character.
Yeah.
So, okay, guys, look, I'm out of here for now. It's 1:45. I think I'm probably just gonna call it a day. I don't know. I might play some Heroes of the Storm offline if you guys want to hang out.
Sounds good.
But fun day. Thank you for being here, Fakey. Thank you for being here and hosting with me.
My pleasure.
Chaos, thank you for being here as well. And I don't know if you're
Appreciate
I don't know if you're guesting or if you plan on being here every time, but you're always welcome. So
Yeah, I just might not have a webcam, so.
yeah, that's fine. No big deal. Exactly. We can't do Beard of the Storm because Fakey doesn't have a beard.
Well, I had to shave it.
I
I
do.
can get a beard. I have a beard,
do,
but
I
I
do.
had to shave it because I had to talk to some important people today.
Well, there you go. So,
Yeah, so
There goes the storm.
again, it'll be a weekly thing every Wednesday. Today's Wednesday, yep. So, and we're doing Wednesday because Blizzard does its maintenance on Tuesdays, which gives us a day to like play and figure out what's going on and read patch notes and see changes, and then report to you guys on Wednesdays about what we changed. But we could do Beardos of the Storm. We could do that. So again, let me know on Twitter. Let me know on Twitch when I'm live. Let me send me messages, whatever you got to do, and we'll go from there. But thank you again. I'm out here for now. I will definitely be streaming tonight. Expect some Heroes of the Storm matches this evening. Probably in probably around 9 p.m. Pacific time. So I know that's late for a lot of you, but I live in the West Coast, so that's what time I'm going to be doing it. And
probably play for an hour.
cool. I'm out of here for now, guys. Thank you for watching, and we will see you. We'll see you next week, I suppose. So goodbye.
Yes, guys.
Ta-ta for
Later.
now.